North Broward family, we're so happy to get the chance to speak with you today. At North Broward Preparatory School, we live our mission every day. We are proud of our international community that highlights academic achievement and personal growth. Our North Broward families prize critical thinking skills, opportunities for multiple interests and civic responsibilities, and a challenging yet nurturing environment. A lot of schools talk about how their faculty, students, and parents are like family, but at North Broward, we truly are family. Our students become our own. And as our day and residential students and families face a new reality of virtual schooling from home, our core values become more vital than ever. Whether it's in tweets from teachers or emails from administration, or the care from our residential life faculty, it's easy to see that we genuinely love our international mix of day and residential students. We are a united global community, and in these challenging times, we come together to support one another. We use our commitment to innovation and critical thinking to empathetically solve problems on local and global levels. We are proud to be Eagles, and though this global pandemic of COVID 19 may temporarily ground us, we will find ways to soar together. Who we are is who we've always been, and that will not change. NBPS is a private college preparatory school made of 60% day students and 40% residential students, most of whom are international. We're an integral part of a 66 school international education consortium, and we recognize that it's a privilege to teach in such a diverse environment. We love that our students come from countries like Italy and Ukraine, China and Czech Republic, Brazil and Austria, United States and Korea. We love that we can walk down the hall and hear a mix of languages and perspectives, that we can listen to each other and learn from each other. We are connected virtually, yes, but we have always been connected as a community. Our school prizes a growth mindset, and our ability to be adaptable is more important now than ever before. We may come from many different countries and speak different languages, but as North Broward Eagles, we are one, together. Being a part of an international consortium like Nord Anglia Education provides so many opportunities to our North Broward students. We partner with our sister schools in North America, Europe, the Middle East, China, and Southeast Asia, and we benefit through global projects, international arts festivals, and prestigious partnerships with Juilliard and MIT. In the face of the COVID 19 crisis, we feel especially grateful to have had the benefit of our sister schools who have been grappling with this global pandemic before us. Our schools in China and Italy, in particular, were able to offer feedback and observations as they tried different models of education. And through their guidance, North Broward was able to determine our current 2-day fusion class schedule with office hours and one on one meetings with students on the out of class days. By listening and learning from our global community, we are able to provide a quality education while being sensitive to our families as they themselves struggle with the demands and challenges of this health crisis. COVID 19 presents us all with global and local challenges, including facilitating our students' growth and learning in the midst of extraordinary circumstances. NBPS recognizes that growth happens at many levels and not just academically. We strive to foster a sense of inquiry and stability, especially in this global pandemic. Our teachers are helping our students to process the world around them, a world that is ever changing and uncertain. But we seek to provide a familiar, comforting virtual classroom environment where our students and teachers can reconnect with each other and support each other through this crisis. At NBPS, our first priority is the health and safety of each student and each family. We recognize that learning in a new environment in the midst of a global health crisis offers challenges for many students, even if that environment is at home. For some of our international students, simply getting home is a challenge. We continue to take steps to model adaptability to accommodate some of our international students who have traveled home and are as many as 12 hours ahead in time zone. No student should attend school at 1 o'clock in the morning. So all classes are recorded, teachers can meet one-on-one virtually with students, and teachers are offering separate morning classes for their students who are learning virtually abroad. Whether you are at home or abroad, we are there for you, Eagles. One way for North Broward to support its students is by offering transparency and clarity on its guidelines and expectations for virtual learning. Treat this virtual classroom as you would your on campus classrooms, with care, intent, and responsibility. Do your formative and summative work over the week before class time. Show up to class and really be present. Participate in robust discussions, listen to your fellow students, take notes, type actively in the chat, but above all, be respectful. Respect and patience are key in successfully translating our wonderful North Broward classrooms into virtual classrooms. If you must miss class, remember to watch the recorded classes and read the chats. Take advantage of your teacher's office hours and one on one meetings. Education is a partnership, and we want to support you in becoming successful virtual learners. Our leadership team is actively committed to working with our NBPS families while adjusting and adapting to the challenges of this pandemic. Our head of school, Bruce Fawcett, and our assistant head of school, Genevieve Hoppy, have made open access and communication a priority. And they have communicated with both local educators and leaders, as well as our global Nord Anglia leadership, to craft a thoughtful and adaptable response. Our division leaders, lower school principal Kathleen Malinowski, middle school principal Alex Birchnall, and high school principal Tanya Lynch, have been coordinating closely with our heads of school and creating grade appropriate responses that best facilitate our students learning from home. Kervin Saunders, our Director of Residential Life, has been instrumental in coordinating the Herculean effort of safely coordinating transportation for our residential students who choose to go home, while maintaining a safe, nurturing, and stable home for our residential students who choose to remain on campus. Putting it all together is our amazing technology team, headed by Director of Educational and Information Technology, Alex Podchaski. Alex and his incredible team have worked tirelessly providing tech assistance, Zoom coordination, informational data analysis, and endless resources for teachers, students, and parents. Together, our leadership team forms the foundation for a successful partnership with our NBPS families, working together through these challenging times. As North Broward Eagles, we are connected and we listen and learn from each other. Our leadership team is committed to listening to our stakeholders, that is, our faculty, students, and parents. One way we can learn from each other is by data collection, and our administration has sent out several surveys to all of our stakeholders looking at how the virtual platform and the NBPS schedule affect time engaging with the platforms. Our virtual classes take place on the Zoom platform, which our students access through Canvas, the Learning Management System, or LMS. As we can see, after the initial creation of Zoom classes in early March, the class meeting minutes have been fairly consistent in participation, with the Tuesday-Wednesday fusion classes higher than the other days, although we see good activity during the other days with office hours and one-on-one meetings. In the last grouping of April data, we experienced some fall off of minutes on Thursday and Friday, which bears further trend analysis. In the Canvas views on the right, we can see consistent activity, or views, across the weeks, with students accessing work, assignments, resources, synchronous and asynchronous materials on the LMS. These data indicate that students were already familiar and comfortable with the Canvas LMS, so transitioning to virtual learning did not present challenges in how to access the class materials or assignments. The greater challenges were more in the shortened class time and amount of work in an asynchronous environment versus an in-class environment. In order to analyze how shortened synchronous class time and amount of work in an asynchronous environment impact our stakeholders, that is, our teachers, students, and parents, our leadership team surveyed faculty, students, and parents on the schedule of classes and workload. Over 2 different surveys in a 1-month period, we can see that survey results rose from 61 faculty members responding to the first survey to a second, more robust 189 faculty members responding to the second survey. In the first survey, in the upper left, we see a large majority, 62% of faculty members were highly satisfied with the current NBPS class schedule for the week, with 23.5% somewhat satisfied with the schedule. In the second survey, 2 weeks later, we see that 25.9% of faculty were highly satisfied, a decrease, and a majority of 39.2% were somewhat satisfied, still positive. With 20.1% neutral, leadership can continue to work with faculty to be sure they strike the best balance of synchronous and asynchronous virtual experience. When looking at faculty and student perspectives of work assigned, we find a much more interesting scenario. In the top pie chart on the right, you see the results of a faculty survey of how many hours of work teachers believe that they are assigning to students. A large majority of teachers, 73.8%, believe that they are assigning 1 to 3 hours of work. An even split of 13.1% each of teachers believe that they are assigning anywhere from less than 1 hour to 3 hours of work per week. The bottom pie chart on the right shows the student perceptions of the work assigned outside of class. 33.9% of students believe that they have around 5 hours of work per week, and 25.4% of students felt that they had 7 to 10 hours of work per week outside of class. That combines to a majority 59.3% who believe that they work anywhere from 5 to 10 hours per week outside of class. If we assume a typical NBPS schedule of 7 classes per student, we can extrapolate that work assigned by teachers equates to 1 to 3 hours per class, or 7 to 21 hours per week of work, all told. Interestingly, 18% of students felt that they had anywhere from 12 hours to more than 15 hours of work per week. Clearly, we can continue to communicate with our faculty and students and analyze the trends of work both in and out of class. NBPS has worked hard to model clarity and consistency balanced with responsiveness and adaptability. We continue to evolve as our circumstances evolve, but we recognize that just as we expect our students to learn with specific, targeted, and meaningful feedback, so can we as a school continue to adapt to create the best virtual learning environment for our students and faculty. Our virtual learning plan is simplified and deliberately easy to understand and achieve. We must, as we do, hold our faculty and students to our current high academic standards, and we must clearly communicate the skills and standards which we expect our students to demonstrate. In this respect, we are who we have always been. By providing surveys, listening to our stakeholders, and analyzing the resulting data, we can adjust for change as necessary. This essential feedback loop will enable NBPS to stay agile and adaptable in order to consistently evolve and improve our educational experience for our NBPS families. In the end, we will continue to meet the changes and challenges that this global health crisis presents by doing what we've always strived to do: show our families a unified level of care and support, set clear expectations while being transparent about the challenges, and model flexibility and adaptability by listening to our stakeholders, analyzing data, and recognizing our successes and challenges. If we adjust our practices based on consistent data and communication while staying true to our core mission, we will emerge from this crisis stronger than before. NBPS families, our school has always focused on finding opportunities to grow and learn from every situation. And although this crisis presents sometimes seemingly insurmountable challenges, we will weather this storm. We are strong in our diversity, strong in our connections with each other, and strong in our care and cultivation of each other. We will grow and thrive together through adversity. Please be sure to continue to share your feedback with your teachers and administrators. We are best when we learn from each other, so we want to hear from you. We're here for you. We are in this together, Eagles. We are a united global community. We are strong in our support of each other, and we soar together as one.